morning and welcome to room 902. My name is Shannon Graham and I teach 7th grade ELA at Frost School located in Livingston Parish. You will be viewing a lesson from a unit that exposes the students to utopian and dystopian societies. I use the novel The Giver as my anchoring text. Also, in prior and future lessons, the students use supporting texts such as an excerpt from a book, poem, the preamble, and a song. This unit was created using the Louisiana Department of Education guidebook, as well as the Louisiana State Standards and Livingston Parish Public School Standards. Throughout this unit, students have explored themes, characters, and contrasting viewpoints. When writing responses, they have cited textual evidence to support their analysis. They participated in group work designed to engage the learner, promote critical thinking, and connect real-life situations. The standards and objectives were used to prepare all my students for weekly and unit assessments, benchmarks, and also standardized testing. But most importantly, to give them the knowledge and skills to make them lifelong learners. The lesson is divided into several activities. We will begin with our bell ringer, which is a daily paragraph edit. We used the Kagan strategy called Showdown to manage the activity. The students will float to their designated corners and begin editing the paragraph, correcting it for any grammatical errors. This technique is used for reviewing standard English skills instead of teaching them in an isolated unit. Next, I will introduce the hook. This is a memory transmission simulation where students evaluate events of historical significance and gain knowledge of what these reveal about human nature and human history. They will close by sharing their findings with the whole group. The third activity is a literacy circle discussion group where students think critically while analyzing the text. They will work cooperatively and follow agreed upon rules. These discussion groups are an excellent way for students to deepen their understanding through listening, speaking, and writing. We close the lesson using an exit ticket called Twitter feed. This is a technique used to monitor comprehension by students summarizing the big ideas and key concepts from the lesson. It also helps me to assess the need for reteaching or enrichment of key concepts. Differentiated instruction is used throughout the lesson to maximize growth of all students. Showdown corners were built as leveled groups using the STAR, LEAP, benchmark, weekly test, and unit assessments. Literacy circles were mixed ability groups with students ranging from the at-risk level all the way to mastery and advance. Students are supported by their peer coaches while the teacher monitors and facilitates the learning. I hope you enjoy our lesson, and as always, it's a great day to be a Frost Falcon. Okay, y'all, we're going to start off our lesson today with our bell ringer, our daily paragraph edit. I want you to do Tuesday. Make sure you look for all your grammatical errors in the document, and make sure that you send your peer coach over to check your work. Are there any questions before we begin? Okay, I'm going to be just going around to all the groups and monitoring y'all. So I'm going to start off with the red group. All right, good luck.
On July 17th,
Okay, y'all, how you doing?
Andrea Doria,
What we got going on today?
July.
All right, Alexis, you want to start for us, baby?
Genoa.
And why is that?
I don't think there needs to be a
Do y'all see anything else that needs to be corrected?
Andrea Doria, underline book, right?
And why do we need that comma there? It's not the day,
Voyage
it's the day
is
of the month
supposed to took 9 days.
and the year. Okay, Alexis, why don't you try one day? What did you think that we need to do with Dorian, Andrea Dorian? And why is that? Do you know what kind of word
I think
that
so. Voyage,
proper noun?
and these, is that
Okay,
it?
it's the name of the book or the ship. Okay, so. Okay, and I believe that we have two more. Very good, and what else? And then what else does it mean?
The comma.
Okay, Alexis, do you know why we need that city, a comma between that city and that country?
Okay, so we gotta create it.
All right, today we're going to start now with our hook. We're going to do an actual memory transmission simulation. Now remember from our book that Jonas had to go here every day for his memory transmission exercises. Now the giver did give Jonas two types of memories. Some very lovely memories, but also some memories of pain and suffering. Can anybody remember the good memories that he got at first?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Oh, he felt that warmth of that sunshine.
Sledding.
Sledding, I remember that one.
The water when he was on the sailboat.
Oh, okay, and one more that was real
Colors.
important.
Colors.
Oh, colors, he sure did. And I remember a scene for Christmas. So he started him off with those good memories so that he would not freak totally out. But soon the giver had to start giving him
The bad memories.
the bad memories. What were some of those? Somebody that I haven't heard from.
Like some of the people were like starving and like.
He saw starvation.
When he was sledding and broke his leg.
Ooh, that was a bad one. He had felt the pain of breaking a leg.
The sunburn.
And the sunburn was also, and I remember one really
The
bad.
war.
The warfare. Okay, so on your simulation cards, there's a different simulation card at each station. We're going to be doing a carousel walk through this activity because each of the cards is different. So you will start off in your groups that you're already in. You will need to decide how to pass out the different cards. You're going to have a reader from the group to read the card. You'll have a writer. I've placed papers here on your desk so that the writer can answer two questions. This is what I want you to really try to analyze. What does this memory reveal about human history? So some of them are going to be historical. And also, what do they reveal quite possibly about human nature and the way we act as humans? Okay, so you have to first determine whether it's a historical significance or if it's human nature. So after you write that down, whoever is the writer, then I want you to decide, is this a memory that we need to lose in our society, or do we need to keep this memory so that we can possibly learn from some of our mistakes? Okay, so the writer will briefly write down two statements for each card, and then y'all will float with your paper to the next station. So a carousel walk will be used to manage this activity. All right, are there any questions? So y'all decide who's going to be who, because when you rotate through the carousel walk, you can change your cards later on. Somebody can be the reader and the leading, and somebody can be the writer.
When the group plays the hands on Jonas' back, you're transported to a dark barn with a small candlelight. A black man held up a book near the light and absorbed the words, educating himself. A white man walked into the barn, yelling to the man who was out
To
of
the next station. All right, and then make sure you pass out your cards, and maybe you'll want to get a new job this time. All right, rotate.
That's your hand transporting all the
Okay, that's a good job. All right, y'all did a really good job with that memory transmission simulation. Now we're going to go into our literacy discussion groups. Who has the job of the paper monitor this month? Okay, Brian, will you pass out the packets for us? Brian is bringing you your literacy packets that you've been working on. This is going to be for your early finisher work. We're going to do our reading of our chapter and the analyzing of the book first. And then if your group happens to finish before the others, just start working on your weekly jobs. Your presentations will be on Thursday. So do a very good job of analyzing your text and make sure you always use higher order thinking questions and that you're thinking critically. You can open up your book to chapter 15, decide who's going to be reading first, and then you'll just do rally robin Look at Miss Shannon. Make sure that after you have read your page, that you summarize it for your group, that you analyze what has happened, and that you just have a good discussion on it. Because this is the way to get ready for the open response test that will be coming up probably next Tuesday. All right, so do not go on to the next page until you make sure that all of your peers understand what is happening in the text. Does anybody have questions about the literacy discussion groups? Okay, I'm just going to be floating around and visiting, and I want to hear some discussions. I don't want to hear quiet in the room, all right? Okay, you may begin whenever you get ready. I'm going to start off with y'all because I want to see y'all's presentation.
I'm the discussion leader.
All right, y'all did really an awesome job with your literacy discussion groups, okay? We're gonna end our lesson with our exit ticket. We're going to use the Twitter feed today. I'll give you one of those little cards. I want you to write on it a higher order thinking question. Remember, we are finished with the memory type questions. We are done with understanding. We are moving on to applying, analyzing, and evaluating our literature. So who is my teacher assistant this month? Okay, thanks, Preston. Will you get the sticky notes and give one to each student and give yourself a little bit of think time. Write down a question on the sticky note and post it onto your Twitter feed account. And then we'll go over some of the questions. We might not get to all of them today. If we don't, we'll use those to open up our lesson on tomorrow. Okay, let's review with the little questions. Ariel, you want to start with us? Why don't you go up and pick one of the questions and we'll see if we can't answer it. Okay, read loudly so the whole class can hear it.
Describe why the Christmas memory is important to Jonas.
How did Jonas and Gabe hide from the airport?
Today's lessons were student-led and student-driven, with the teacher acting as a facilitator and mentor. Students were given the opportunity to engage with their peers. Discussions required critical thinking, and the simulation enhanced real-life connections. Not seen during the literacy circle discussion groups were the presentation of weekly jobs. Groups have an illustrator, a word wizard, super summarizer, real-life connector, and a discussion leader. After completing a section of the novel, students present their jobs to the group as a review for the upcoming open response test and vocabulary development. All test questions are written as a posed constructive response item to ensure students are prepared for standardized testing formats. Using a rubric, the literacy packet will be assessed for accuracy upon completion of the 5-week unit. Students take an AR test at the end of the novel to support our accelerated reader program. Students are working towards a 100-point goal by end of the year, as well as the 40-book challenge and the Millionaire Club. These programs are an excellent way to instill in our students a love for reading and exposing them to different genres. Thank you again for visiting Room 902, and we hope that you enjoyed our lesson.